Hello, everybody. And it is Sharon Sheldon here from Content Sparks with Sarah Arrow, Team Sparks. And we are going to be talking today about marketing messages. So starting out, if you're not sure what a marketing message is, or actually to start out, type in when you hear this, what you think a marketing message is. All right. So even if you're coming on to this a little bit later and watching a little bit later, please just type in what you think a marketing message is. And also what your marketing message is, if you know what it is. All right. And as we go through, I'm going to ask you about mine and what you think mine is at Content Sparks. All right. So marketing messages. Your marketing message is the core of all of your marketing. So it's not your ad copy. We're not talking about copywriting here. It's not your message in your email and how you're writing your emails. It's not your sales page, though in fact it's the core and it's the foundation of the heart of all of your marketing. And in order to get to that, you have to be really looking at your target audience, your ideal client. So all your message, however it's written, wherever it's written, has to resonate with your target client, your target customer. So it's when they read it, they have to be saying, "Oh, that's me you're talking to. Oh, let me look a little further. That's the problem I'm having. That's my language that you're speaking." And then they go a little bit further. So we'll show you a few examples of what that means. But in general, you get to that by actually, let me give an overview of the course. So we're going to be looking at the course that we just launched today, which is called Create Your Marketing Message. So if I just share the screen a second, I will show you what that is, a very quick overview. Let's see. So this is the very, very high overview of the roadmap through the course. So you go through why you need a marketing message. I could say a captivating marketing message versus compelling, one that really resonates. And you do that starting with who your ideal customer is. So the course will go through an overview. We're not going super in depth into ideal customer research and stuff like that, because we actually have a separate course we're doing on that in December. But this is revisiting it, tips for how to get that information, drilling down on things like pain points and challenges. And then you look at your business, your product or service. So you're going to focus on one, what makes you different and stand out. So various things in there. Then you craft a core message. So the core message isn't, like I said, the sales page or your ads or even just all your homepage copy and stuff. It's the very core that you want to be able to communicate in different things. And there, I'll show you what the different elements are in that you have to look at. Then you need to be able to adapt that to different channels. So we'll look at that as well in the course. And finally, the course ends with you starting to look at new ones. And Jane says, hi. Hi, Jane. Good to see you here. Jane, if you get a chance and you know what it is off the top of your head, type in what your marketing message is or what you think your marketing message is. Because in general, most marketers really don't know, or if they do know, they're not getting it right. And you'll know you're not getting it right if you're not getting the results or attracting the right clients with your marketing. So if you can actually get yours right, you're way ahead of everyone else. When we were just looking at some examples, trying to find some good examples, and it's very difficult. Sarah kept coming up with ones and said, look at that. Oh, no, that's not really a very good marketing message. And okay, look at that one. Not too good either. So put in what you think it is, and also put in what you think mine is. So that should be very interesting for me. So that's the overview of what the course is. And if I go into actually this one, here, let's hide this. This is just the URL for the course that we just launched today. So it's contentsparks.com/marketing message, all one word. hopefully memorable. And I'm going to just hide that so we can look at this. So this is the flow of the course. I showed you the very high level, but this has the different lessons in each. So you go through why you need a message, so what they are, and the ideal marketing message. Then, like I said, you look at who the ideal customer is, your ideal customer and their pain points, what makes you different, so your values, how you make your product stand out, your unique value proposition, and then the crafting your core message. So you have to do those two first things. Even if you've done them a billion times before, I'll bet that you can't just rattle it off immediately, what the pain points are, boom, 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 without thinking about it. You always have to look back and then revisit it again, because it does change over time too. And you learn more and you refine it each time. I know I do. But then you go into the core. I'll show you the framework now, but there's also copywriting tips, testing your message. So some tips on doing that, communicating it to different people, different platforms, things like that, and then doing new ones. So let's just look at that framework, because that was something that, Sarah, you asked me to show.
Right? Yep, because I love this framework, and we're in negotiations for you to get a copy, an editable copy.
Yeah, it is in there.
You've got this one, but Sharon's got a better one, and you've got to look for it on the blog post on Saturday. So
yes, it's going to be a really pretty one in Canva. So you're not going to be able to see this in a lot of detail, but this is the framework for doing your message. So you want to just summarize all these different things. So what's your main product or service? Who is your ideal client? Summarize that. What's your value proposition? Then what's your core message? And here is important. We've got benefits of the core message, proof for each benefit. So these are also important things to have as part of your message. It's not just, oh, we're the best or the cheapest or the fastest, and that's the value proposition, or we're the cheapest source for software, like AppSumo says, where you can get it. That's not good enough. You need to have, what are the benefits? So whether it's saving money or being able to improve your marketing because you now can access all your software, stuff like that. And then the proof for each one, actually showing whether it's testimonials or showing results from customers, like case studies, showing that it's a simple process, whatever it is that's the best proof for your customers. And then call to action is something you always want to have for any marketing message too. So this is the framework that you always want to work with, and the most basic way to go for it. And then there is an example in here, but this example is relatively generic. And one of the things I recommend when you get the course and you see kind of my tips, follow-up emails, is that you find one or more examples that really fits your audience, depending on who you work with, whether it's hairdressers or coaches. Obviously, you're going to want different examples for different people, for different audiences. So that's the framework. And then what was the other thing you wanted me to open up? The checklist?
Yep, the checklist is really good too.
So maybe I can make this a little bit bigger so you can see. You can kind of see. But this is another thing that you always want to look at. So there's, here, let's make it full. See if you can see it any better. Not really. A little bit better. So these are the things you want to make sure you always cover in your marketing message. So you can use this checklist that's in with the action guide to check each one of them. So is everything consistent? Does it appeal at an emotional level? This is key. And I'm going to hand to you in a second, Sarah, to talk about language. Does it appeal at a rational level? So there's always emotional, rational, right? You want to have a balance of both. It's not just emotional. A lot of people are always trying to appeal to that and then forget about the logic side. Does it set you apart from your competitors? Does it sound natural and conversational? Now, this one I also want to talk about in a sec. Does it sound authentic, clear and easy to understand, motivate your customer to take action, and is your call to action clear? So always hang on to this checklist, not just for your students, but for you as well. So just before I hand it to you, Sarah, this whole thing with the natural and conversational is important, because a lot of people put together marketing messages and are focused on sounding really clever or sounding really smart, and then it just loses all impact. If somebody looks at your marketing message and has to really think hard about what it means, then you probably aren't on target with that. And as an example, let me show you one that I was just looking at before. Let's close some of this out. Remember the one, Sarah, that we were looking at that I said, I don't think
I loads of them, didn't we?
Which one was that? I think it was the digital marketer one. Yeah. So if you look at the digital marketer one, okay, they are aiming more at a lot at agencies now, at marketing agencies. So maybe their language does work with them, but they have, let's see, their main thing is outmarket the competition. Okay, really straightforward, very simple to understand for the most part, because this is geared for marketers. It's your go-to source for tools and training to be the smartest marketer in the room. Great. They're appealing to somebody who's teaching marketing or who's helping companies do their marketing. So you do want to be the smartest marketer in the room. And that's very possible. That's the language. But then they've got this one bit. Oh, you can't really see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. Can you see that a little bit better? So this is like here for teams. Let us transform your sales and marketing team into a lead capturing, revenue generating, full stack marketing team with trainings and certifications. Okay, full stack marketing team. I guess teams should understand that, but that's the kind of term where you have to be very careful about what you say unless you're sure that your audience is going to understand that. And same with, they have this little model at the top, the growth flywheel, which, by the way, I believe was taken from HubSpot, where they developed the flywheel. Interesting. The rest of this is pretty straightforward, though. Generates customers from scratch. Fairly easy. Anything else? Let me show you one of the other ones. Let's see. Basecamp I always love to use as an example because they just really, really know their audience. I mean, they are the example everyone comes up with. So you can see they've got their proof things. You know, I talked about those proof of the benefits you're talking about. They've got it at the top, extremely user-friendly, perfect solution for remote teams, truly amazing. So these are more the social proof on there. All-in-one toolkit for working remotely. So they've determined that this is the number one pain point that their customers need help with right now. And they've got a before Basecamp, after Basecamp. So before, they've got all those pain points in there. You're wondering how you'll quickly transition to remote work. People are stressed. Work feels scattered. Projects are slipping. It's tough to see and manage everything. Basic language gets right to the stress and all the anxiety people are feeling, their ideal customers. Afterwards, you'll be feeling like, hey, we got this. So right away, they're using the language of their customer. Everything's going to be organized. Your team's going to be working together, even though they're apart. You'll be on top of things and a sense of calm will set in. And already you're feeling calmer just looking at that. And now you want to give Basecamp a try. So that's everything. That's a complete marketing message right there. And you can use that as a great example. Somebody had a comment. Jane's got hers. Let's see, Jane. Helping women entrepreneurs create, launch, and grow profitable e-commerce businesses. Very straightforward. E-commerce website specialist, content marketing educator, free 5-day startup challenge. Okay, so this is, you've got it really condensed what you do, what you do in terms of helping people. So anyone who wants to create an e-commerce business, they're going to create, launch, and grow. And now you need to somehow get in there that emotional element. All right. And then, you know, in your longer messages, get the proof and the benefits in there, because this is what you do and what the outcome is going to be. So that's going to be fun for you to do. And you also said, for me, helping coaches, content creators save time by producing professional PLR course and likes hiking. Yes, I do. But yeah, so I'll save that. The save time is the benefit. Professional courses. Hopefully that's not the message I'm getting across, only because I'm not getting the benefits then, if that's what's coming out there. Bob Milliken, their headline score only 40 on share through. I guess you mean Basecamp. That's interesting. I don't know who share through is and why they're making that so low. Maybe because it doesn't have the emotional. A lot of those headline checkers are looking to make sure there's emotional stuff or words that might be too much like lingo. So it'd be interesting to see. Actually, it'd be interesting to see how something like Thrive Themes comes out, because theirs is immediately what they're selling. So anyone that's selling something specific, like this conversion focused WordPress themes and plugins, they're focusing on the benefit of conversion. So themes and plugins, you don't really know exactly who their audience is because their audience is so broad, but the main factor that ties them together is that they want to get better conversions and they use WordPress. So those are the biggest things, but they do have slightly different ones based on what they're selling. So if it's something like their membership, let's see if I can show that. I'm taxing my computer here with the Wi-Fi. All-in-one online business toolbox. So it's still very focused on what they're selling versus the benefits. But down here, they have a little bit more. So they've got the pain points. So no endless, and again, let me zoom in just a speck more and see if you can see it. So they've got those pain points right there. Imagine a world with no endless back and forth with developers, no internet marketing fluff, no mix and matching your WordPress backend. So if you do have WordPress, you know exactly what this pain is all about. You have that. I've certainly have that all the time. So the solution, just value-based, actionable content and the tools you need to implement it. Just put it all together, make it easy for me, and that whole conversion thing. And then it goes through all the things of what you get in there. So they're getting all the pain point. They have the summary of what you're going to get, and then they have those pain points in there too. So let's see, do we want to show any others? Lead pages, again, is focused on turning clicks into customers, what the benefit is. So you know it's for marketers, anyone that understands what clicks are. It's okay. I'm not in love with it. Pat Flynn, I just thought I'd pull that up there because I wanted to see, I follow him and I wanted to see what he's doing. Again, it's on Build Your Dream Online Business. So you know immediately that it's focused on anyone that wants to build an online business. He also has a fairly general audience, but that's the thing that ties them together. Whether you're going on your entrepreneurial journey, we're here to help you get there. It's okay. You can see how even the best people don't do the most brilliant things on this. We looked at Digital Marketer, AppSumo. We were talking about that, what they do. Again, this is, they start with the benefit. So you're never paying full price for software again. And then it's very much right into what we do. So they're not really talking about any other benefits in here either. Oh, this is Kevin's. Okay, Kevin Arrow. Are you ready for more clients? Boom, right away, you know it's somebody who's a service business, very possibly coaches, and they need clients. So do you feel that marketing your business online is like pushing water uphill? So I'm hoping that that is a phrase that people have actually used of Kevin's clients, and that's why he's using that. And is your marketing leading to sales? So it's getting their pain points right away. So that's kind of interesting to do. And what did Jane say? Yes, longer message. Start creating your dream online business. Be your own boss. Work on your own terms. Spend more time with family and go where you want, when you want. So those are the main things that your people are going to want. And that, so it ties in both the pain and the benefit at the same time. And then you just need to get some more emotion in there, I think. Maybe some emotion words would be helpful too. But we're not going to make this a whole troubleshooting or hot seat thing. You can come on the VIP Live and we can talk about that and brainstorm some more. So let's get back to create your marketing message. And was going to hand it over. I've been talking the whole time. I was going to hand it over to you, Sarah, to talk about language and how things have changed a bit in the language used in marketing messages now.
Yeah, we were talking prior to the show. Sorry, I've lowered my seat so you can see contentsparks.com marketing message, but now my mouth's right in Sarah Team Sparks. I can't win today.
Here, I can put up a banner so that you don't have to worry about it. Okay. That's the URL for our launch that we just launched today to create your marketing message. Okay. Go for it.
So we were talking about language, and if you don't adapt your marketing message and check it and refresh it on a regular basis, you're in some real danger, because there was some internet research done about how people felt and the language that they used in their purchases from 2000, which was fledgling stage of the internet, wild, wild west, pop-ups everywhere, couldn't move for anything popping up on your screen, flashing adverts, you know the days. And now, 20 years later, and what they discovered was when the content was first being put online, it was very much focused on how people felt relating to their fears. So it was all focused on their fears, because 90% of people responded to fears, as in, I don't want to feel this way, I'm going to press this button, buy this course, buy this product, and I won't feel this way. But the research shows that as time went on with the internet, it started educating people. And now only 70% respond to that. So there's 30% of people who will never respond to your fear-based messaging simply because they've got the world at their fingertips and they'll do research to see whether what you're saying is true. And
not always.
If you're saying things and focusing solely on a fear-based message, you're back in the 2000s. You're not in 2020. So you're gonna update your language and adjust your content on a regular basis, because people do change. In 2008, I can remember talking to entrepreneurs and saying, what are you struggling with right now? What's the problem? And it was tech. You couldn't move for the tech answers. But that started changing in 2013. There started other answers coming in. And I would say about a third of them now say tech. And part of the reason people are no longer struggling the way they were with tech is we have more video content. We have more instructional things of how to do things on YouTube. Trying to do a YouTube video back in 2008, there were very few camera phones, unless you lived in Japan, and they were all camera phone mad. And that's why the iPhone whatever flopped there, because it didn't have a camera and they were used to having devices with cameras. Mm-hmm. You had to have one of those, do you remember them, like a shoebox camcorder? And you'd have a tripod and you'd have to clear everybody out of your lounge, drug your dogs so they wouldn't bark, and all sorts of things, just to get a 5-minute video that you then have on a cassette or on a tiny digital card that would cost you like $500 just for 30 seconds worth of video on the disc. It was very expensive, very time consuming. Tech was a real big problem. But as tech's advanced, it's become cheaper, it's become more accessible, tutorials are more accessible. There's a reason why how-to is the most popular search phrase on the web, because people are looking for answers to their tech problems. So if you focus solely on people with tech issues rather than the big picture of the other issues they face, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble now, but you're going to be in big trouble in 2 or 3 years' time, because people, the millennials, as they're coming through, they're almost 40 now. They've grown up with computers. Searching things down is their second nature. The same for Gen Z. So you're going to be limiting your audience to just the older people. And as they die out, you're losing your audience. So you've got to really adapt your marketing messages to Gen Z, to the millennials, and incorporate what you do in a way that they understand. And you can't do that if you're based all your marketing messages from 2000 and talking about the fears that were fears 20 years ago and not the things that are fears right now.
Well, also you had said fear in general isn't being used as much. So it's still being used a lot, but people don't respond to it as well. And it's always gives you a negative feeling versus the positive feeling of like the Basecamp one of, oh, phew, calm. I'm going to be able to get everything under control. Or like the Thrive Themes one of, okay, it's all there. I don't have to worry about all these different plugins and stuff. It's going to make my life easier, increase my conversions. So neither one is talking about fear anymore. It's more about the big benefit of how you can envision things being so much better. Not, oh my God, I'm going to miss out. There's still a lot of that. But oh my God, everything's going to be so horrible unless I do this. Yeah, I don't think people respond to that as much. You're muted.
You missed that.
Yeah, totally. You're a brilliant gem of wisdom we completely missed. Now you have to remember it.
No, it's gone now. You've lost it. You're going to have to lip read.
Oh, no. Really? You're not just kidding? Okay, something to do with fears. We were talking about fear.
Yeah, we
and
were.
Language.
Oh, yeah, okay. There was a backlash against it. Do you remember about 5 years ago? All of these people saying, oh, the doors are going to close in a minute and then it'll be gone and then you'll miss out. And people were saying, hang on a minute, this is an ebook. How am I going to miss out? And the scarcity tactics that once worked really well stopped working because people started to understand what was going on, that there wasn't limited editions of a digital book. There was an unlimited supply. It was digital. So people had to think about how they phrased their scarcity, because the false scarcity just started rubbing people up the wrong way. Yeah. And if that's part of your message, it's going to be...
the scarcity shouldn't be your marketing message at all. That's not part of it. That's just a sales tactic. Your marketing message is about how you're speaking to your ideal customer and resonating with whatever their pain is and their emotions and again, don't forget the rational side logic and how you're different and how and the proof and the benefits and stuff of what you're offering. So it's tying that all together. When you start doing scarcity and playing around with layout and tweaking different things, that's just optimizing your different sales tactics or marketing tactics. A lot of times people are spending time on split testing this and that and getting the latest tool and fancy design when it's really the wording, that core message that they're not getting right. You can have a really lousy design, but if your message is on target, you're still going to do really well, better than if you have a fancy design with a message that's just completely off or really bland or whatnot. Okay, I'm just like the one that I showed you with Pat Flynn. I'm going to help you create your dream online business. If we didn't know who he was and how successful he is, and you're coming there as someone who has no idea who he is, that you might just click away entirely. He just happens to have such a big name that I think he can get away with it. Same with some of the other people who are big names. So
I do think it gets to that point where you're such a big name that your marketing message can change and not be as good because you are ineffectively a brand. But for those of us who are not the first name that comes up when somebody mentions something, then our message isn't working. We need to be very specific about it.
Yep. So again, if anybody wants to guess what my marketing message is, because if it's not clear, I need to get it across. Here, let's show what it is now, what I have there now. That's not it. So I've got right now, there's a better, faster way to create your online courses. Not really great. But I've got, because you want to deliver professional online courses, but you don't want to spend weeks, months, or even years at it. We've done the most time-consuming work. All you have to do is add you to make it unique. It's not quite there yet. I'm still working on it. I know my audience wants to create courses, but there's much more to it than that. So that it can not be working one-to-one and free up your time and serve more people. There are lots of different things. So for me, I have to hone in on what the biggest thing is when people come in and are looking for some help. So if you get that, let me know. And then this is our new site, by the way. If you haven't seen the new theme, we're using Thrive themes and lots of customizations. So not everything's working perfectly yet, but this is what it's looking. So we're working on that message. I've got Get Started to try and show how easy it is, what course topics, so immediately showing that it's there. And then we've got a Find Out More page, which, by the way, Sarah, we need to work on making look better. I'll need your help. Getting into the questions, these pop up. Yeah, and then we've got some proof points and that. So, and then we need a nice image in here. So that's what our site's looking at. So this has to have just a core message in there. And then new here, Find Out More, is a page that we need to work on. Am I in the right place? How does it work? These are more like some of the FAQs. What can I do? How much time and work do I have to commit? Whoops. And I have a little pop-up there. Look at that. Forgot about that. As I said, we're working on the site. We still have some things to figure out on there. So any input, let me know. But let's go back to the main course today. If you do have any questions at all about it, please pop them in here or post them on the page or send into support even, and we'll answer them. But I want to make sure I give you a look at all the different other things that are going on right now in terms of what you can get during the launch. So why don't we look at that now? What do you want to look at first? Oh, you wanted to look at the slideshow, correct? For the lead generation. Huh?
While you're getting that up, Sharon, we need to recognize this historic moment where Gary has already downloaded and unzipped, included the bonuses, before Jane. Go for it, Gary. You've got this. Online by tomorrow night.
Okay, ready to go. And now Sarah's going to give ideas already for the lead. This is the slideshow that goes with the lead generation material. So let me hide this so you can see it.
So after we were talking about this in September, myself and Sharon, and I quickly established that I did not have a marketing message. Even my husband's got a better one than me. So I thought to myself, how am I going to do this and deliver this to my audience when I'm not in a strong position, where my marketing message is me sticking my licked finger in the wind and hoping that I can find it. So how am I going to do this? Well, I've decided the way that I'm going to do this is be completely transparent with my audience and say, I realize that I'm an idiot and didn't have this. And it's marketing fundamental. And I'm going to do a 5-day challenge. And I'm going to use some of the elements of the challenge. And at the end of it, I'm going to invite them to come along and do this webinar to clarify everything we've done over the last 5 days in the challenge. So this webinar slide that's in the lead gen materials, normally I look at that and think, yeah, I'll do something with that, and never do. Now I'm actually like, oh, thank heavens I have this. I'm going to do something with this. So I was looking through it earlier, and I went in and I deleted out all of those next steps because I want them to buy the course. But what I did notice was that this is a really nice, meaty webinar. You know, if you've ever been on one of those webinars where the person's telling you that they lost everything, they were down to their last $5 in their purse, and they were sleeping on their obscure relative's sofa, and they were living on baked beans, cold because they couldn't afford a microwave, and all of that. You know, those kind of webinars, I really just don't like them, because I want to get into the content, understand what the person's teaching me. If they're teaching me really good, then I want to know all about them. Once you've taught me something and I can see how that works, I'll sit there and listen to your sob story for hours. You know, I'll even send you some money on PayPal and say, there you go, buy yourself a microwave, that sort of thing. But until I know you, your sob story kind of doesn't resonate with me. So as I was going through this, I thought this is a really, really good webinar where we can give people such value, and those that are ready to take the next step with us can come on to the program. And it's something that I'm going to be delivering live because, as I say, don't have a marketing message. So this is not for me as it is for my audience. But
Yep.
I was really focused this time on this element, and I think it's one of those things in the Blaze packages that is often overlooked until we actually need it, and then we realize how powerful it actually is. And there are how many slides there? Less than 30?
38.
38, so less than 40 slides.
But it's 5 separate steps in here. So, and you might also want to break it up. I know you're going to put your logo on there, but we keep them short, but you can break them up too and put images on and stuff.
By the time you've got your images on, a tiny section about you, and it's, as this is going to be a recap after we've done the challenge, and the challenge is based on the opt-in report, so it all ties in together nicely, that I can give the people, when they've completed the challenge, I can give them a little branded booklet. Well done, you've completed the challenge, here's a nice little branded booklet for you to refresh your memory. Come on to this webinar, and they come on and it's going through and refreshing their memories of everything we've done on those last 5 days. So it reinforces the message that you're sharing with them. And then at the end of it, those of them that need extra help know that they can come and do the extra help thing with me. And those of them that are like, do you know what? This was just enough for me. I've got good value out of this. They've been served really well, because I don't like people to come on to my trainings and feel shortchanged. I don't like them to come on and think, well, I've just spent half an hour here that I could have been with my family and I've learned absolutely nothing. There's nothing that I can take away, nothing that I don't know how to do or anything like that. I like them to come onto my webinars and learn something. So this is really powerful. This really, for me, is a wonderful thing. And I'm also thinking that if I actually pull several of these out, I haven't got a Black Friday offer. I can pull several of these webinars out and record them into mini masterclasses and send a bundle of them. I was going to do checklists. I'm now thinking mini masterclasses with all my Blaze Pack webinars.
Well, this you can break up and expand on each one quite easily. So this can be more than one, because there's next steps after each, and this isn't something that someone can do quickly right there. So you can do this as a quick live stream and then send people off to, so this can be a whole mini course And again, this is just in the lead generation material. So it can be a whole mini course where you're just getting them started out. You don't want to be going into depth on each thing because you want them to buy the main course as well. But they can start. They can look at the stuff and realize that their marketing message isn't really clear and try and get started with simplifying it. So this one is called 5 Reasons Your Marketing Message is Falling on Deaf Ears. Obviously, rename it to whatever works for you, whatever. And you can do it as having people look at their current marketing message. And then you'll go into much more depth in the course, because while here you've got one thing on ideal customer. What's step 2? Remember, this is reason. So you're trying to reach everyone. This is just a few slides where you're telling them how important it is, getting them to get started and revisit it. But in the course itself, you're going to go into much more detail. So there's even a ideal customer. Let's see. Sorry, not clicking on that. Action guide. There is a customer profile worksheet that you'll have them go through. And this is consistent with other stuff that we do on ideal customer as well. It goes into a little bit more, and we'll go into a lot more in December's course on creating an ideal customer profile. So if you want to expand on this, you'll have to wait till December. Sorry, guys. But there will be more, and you'll be able to upsell and add it to this one. And then in the action guide, you'll see the difference between doing just lead generation and that smaller mini course, and then how you're going to be able to upsell and have them do much more. Let me flip through it this way so you can see that there's.
James just said Gary's won the best customer badge. Yeah, you're going to have to fight me and Barb for that, Gary. She's in and I'm in England, so it's going to be a tough one there. And Gary's saying the audience for this, extremely easy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it is a lazy marketing message. And, you can even use that because you've got it there. Toss your lazy marketing message in the bin and create something that works.
Oh, don't tell them they're being lazy. If your marketing message isn't working, if it's falling on deaf ears, not working, it may not be your tech that's the problem, or your sales page or anything. It's just your core message that you're getting across, your wording.
Yeah, your marketing message has been on the job again. And Jane says, can she have that now, please? I don't know whether that's the best customer badge or the target audience.
I think she means the ideal customer profile course that we're coming out with. Sorry, it'll be December. It's not that far off. You can get started with this one and know that there's going to be a bigger course that you can have as an upsell or add-on or something like that for people that really have no clue what their ideal customer is. All right, that'll go into more depth. So that's that. All right, so that was the action guide. I want to what time is it? All right, we've got a little bit more time. So tell me what else you'd like to look at. And if anybody listening.
The expansion pack, Sharon.
The upgrade pack. In this one, what we've done again for an upgrade. So, our upgrade packs are things that aren't essential, but are really, really useful for adding on. So we did one of our great Trello boards again. I'm not going to open that up, but the Trello board is just the digital version of the action guide set up in Trello online. So there's places to check off, and you just make a copy of it, make it branded, and then share it for your students who can make copies and use it to check off. The module quizzes are the thing that a lot of people really love as well, because these you can set up in your online learning platform and something like Thrive quizzes. Most learning platforms, online course platforms, have some way to put in quizzes, which would be at the end of each module to test people's knowledge. So why you need it, who your ideal customer is. So there are some questions that go with each one, some more than others. So like ideal pain points is a longer one that has like 6 questions. What makes you different has 5 questions. So there's a bunch in here. Plenty to get you going. And if you get this and you get the, firstly, if you get the Blaze package, we've got one of those great challenges. So it's that opt-in report, like you saw that slideshow, but already set up as a challenge. So things set up in emails with a couple promo emails and worksheets. So that has the challenge ready. But if you get the Blaze and the upgrade pack, then we have an extra bonus this time, an upgrade bonus, which is sales page copy. Yay. Everybody always says they have trouble. They don't know where to get started with sales page copy. So here's something to get you started. And all the stuff in red are placeholders telling you what to add in, like your story or how you're going to deliver the course, extras, stuff like that. So obviously this is not formatted with fancy design and stuff because you're going to use your own branded one or your own tool, whether it's something like Thrive Architect or Lead Pages or I don't know, ClickFunnels or whatever it is that you use, or even just WordPress. So that's that. And I think that's all I'm going to show unless there's something else that somebody wants to see or you want me to show, Sarah.
Well, Jane's saying she loves the expansion packs. She takes them, the social media quotes, and builds them out as a blog post and article. Well, the Blaze pack already comes with blog posts, and it's one of those really great ones, I know, because I started building it in Thrive Architect earlier, and it looks really good. It's the first one there, which is
I'm actually going to show you
your marketing message with business strategy in mind. That's the first one in the pack.
Oh no, I was just showing the social media posts because this is there's 30 of these, and these you can put on images. I know you can't see them. I know. Let's see. But you're not supposed to be reading them. Can you see it better that way? 200%. Whoa, now you can see them. So there's different tips or questions in here that you could just put onto an image or expand into an article idea as well, or an email idea. So that's one way to repurpose those. And sorry, you were talking about the blog posts.
Yep, they're really good. And if you're stuck, if you don't blog, and I think you're a weirdo if you don't blog, I just want to get that out. And I know Jane's with me on this, and I think Gary probably is as well. You can use these as scripts for live streams. You can pop them into Content Samurai and turn them into little tiny videos that are shared. You can do so much with them. They don't actually have to be blog posts. And as they all follow each other nicely in a series, you can actually use them with the other emails to have a 10 email sequence so that you can really build people up to the course. So you can do so much with them. It's not just blog posts, although that's how I use them, and Jane and Gary will use them.
But remember, we also did, when we talked about next level website content, we talked about doing blog series that tie in with your emails where you send people. So you can have those as blog posts, but then do some extra emails, which are just really short, maybe give a quick couple points, key points that you covered in the blog post, and then send people over to the blog post. So already you've got 5 more emails that you can send out to people. So, and it can be people that you've just gotten on your list who are interested in the topic. So you're nurturing that relationship, or it can be post-course, or both. You know, make sure that you're always resharing those things. So that blog post, not only does it not have to be a blog post, but as it is a blog post, it's content that you can keep sharing over and over. You know, we often do that where we publish something now, but then we release something else in a year's time. And I use that blog post as extra content to send to people when we're doing our launch. So remember, you're going to use this over and over again. Don't think of it as, okay, I'm going to do the blog post, I'm going to send people to my course, and I'm done. That's that. Well, you know all about that, Sarah. It's out there for good.
It is. And blog posts work for you for up to 2 years after you publish them, unlike a Facebook status update, which lasts 7 hours, and a tweet that lasts 7 minutes. So
Up to 2 years, that's all? I've been using blog posts way more than that, but you have to bring them back into the light and refresh them.
I've got ones that are 7, 8 years old that are still bringing in traffic. But they're going with averages, and I can get that not everybody's us. So I understand that. Gary says yes on the sales page copy. If you like it, Gary, would you do us a favour and go over to the Content Sparks page and leave a little review for Content Sparks and say, yes, more sales copy, please, or something like that, so that Sharon feels that she can incorporate that more, perhaps as bonuses and things?
Yeah. Okay. I know. I've always resisted doing sales page copy because I want everybody to, I really think you'll get the best results when you do your own. So that's why this time it still has a lot of placeholders in there for you to put your own information. And we do have also that template in one of the blog posts that I did that has all the different steps and things that you should include in your sales page. So you should follow that. But this should hopefully be helpful as well. And remember, you can pull stuff from your list of contents that's in the Blaze package. All right, there's a contents list that has the modules just listed and the learning objectives. And then there's module overviews that you can pull from places. So you can pick and choose. I want to make sure that you're not using it exactly as is when we do give you sales page copy. It has to sound like you. So tweak that wording and then add your own stuff, like your story. Okay.
There's lots of spaces in the document where you can customize it and make it uniquely yours. And that's a great one, Margie. 10 years and counting.
That's awesome. And what do you mean? Oh, like less than 3 blogs. Okay. Heart blog. Well, I can't remember whether this one, we're doing another content pack this month. Where we're doing those 50 done for you emails and blog posts. I can't remember whether we have marketing messages in there with more blog posts. If we don't, then I'll make sure it's a topic for the next time that we do another content pack. So what we do in those is we have 5 topics, and for each of the 5 topics, we have 5 blog posts and 5 emails so that you can pick and choose, and it's so low price that it doesn't matter if you're not using all of them. So I will check on that, but I will put it down as a request as well. Okay. All right. I think we're in good shape. Anything else before we finish up here?
Jane says, can we let her know about ideal client before Gary, please?
Yeah, maybe. What I can do is tell you exactly when it's going to be released, and you can be sitting there at your computer just waiting for it to show up.
Jane, I think she likes maple scones, so perhaps you might want to try the bribery.
I have a great place here for maple oat scones, that and chocolates. Some good gourmet. You're in France, Belgian and French chocolates. Actually, Belgian chocolates are the best. But you should you should be able to get it first, Jane, because your time zone is ahead. So you should be up earlier and able to grab it. You have no excuses here. No way. And you're in lockdown, so you really have no excuse. You're not going anywhere. All right. On that note, remember, marketing message, there's some bonuses. Remember, there's a launch bonus that is only there during the launch, which ends Wednesday. And that is the challenge. And with the challenge this time, we've got some opt-in page, like challenge opt-in page copy, so that you can put that on some sort of landing page to get people to sign up for your challenge. And then if you get the Blaze package and the upgrade pack, you'll get that sales page copy. And Gary said he's already gotten all of it, so you should already have it in your email and in your account, Gary. So you're ready to go, right? And let us know if you have any questions at all. Again, marketing messages is something everybody needs to work on. Most business owners don't do a good job on it. I would say, as a guess that is not founded in any kind of research or facts whatsoever, I'd say 90% of people, don't quote me, do not get their marketing message right and don't do a good job on it. So you will definitely have an edge. Get the course, go through it yourself, do the best job you can on your marketing message, and then start helping other people. And I know a lot of you maybe don't feel confident in your current marketing message. That doesn't mean that you can't help other people. I think most people don't do a good job on their own, but can still help others. So
Or do
just
it
keep
with
working
them,
on it.
like I plan to. Do it with them, like I plan to, because I don't have one. And, it's really rather embarrassing.
Well, we're going to be working on that. That can be one of the things we do in our VIP Live. For those of you here who are in our VIP Live, that's our twice a month calls where we answer questions and brainstorm and share advice and tips and stuff like that. So maybe we'll be working on that a bit this coming Tuesday as our next call. All right. But meanwhile, marketing message. All right. Take care, everybody. I've got to run. Sarah's got to run. And we look forward to hearing what you do with the course and what your marketing messages are. All right. Bye-bye now.